All right, I got my stream up and running, I think. So just wrapping up the first turn here. So faction I went with is RT. I'm placing a strength 3. I can pay 2 resources to take that action as if it was 4. So that tells me I'm going to need a lot of resource generation. So I think starting resources weren't great, so I started off with an Explore to grab the Wax token here. Although none of these look too exciting. I'm kind of eyeing the bee bread there, I think. Yeah, I'm going to want resources, but I also need room to place those down. So this farm would be pretty nice, but it's going to be hard to get to that. That solves that problem. So now I can get to that farm, but I don't have enough water. That farm will be good for storage as well, but its retrieve is not as exciting. Could go for more water with another Explorer, but I don't love that. I do want to get this bee bread. I don't have the space to place those resources. I could get 2. I only have 3 open spaces, so that would be a waste. Okay. It's another Explorer. Takes the water I was thinking about getting. I could explore down here and get water, but that also seems like a waste. None of these workers seem all that exciting. Like grow as if 4, which lets you upgrade. You only really need to do that once, so that seems really expensive for 3 pollen. Carve with 3, I don't think I want to be super focused on carve tiles. I don't know. Really want this farm tile. I'm short water, and both my opponents can afford it, so they're probably going to take it. So then, what do I do? I could get this farm. I don't love that either. I really need storage. This is awkward. Fertilizer does nothing. Maybe I just take the hit and only get 3 resources out of bee bread. Maybe I dump my resources on a grow. No, I want to do that with a strength 3 worker to save action efficiency. Gosh, I don't. Yeah, I guess I'll just take this tile. That doesn't seem good. Is there a better explorer to be had? Not really. Because I do only have what? I have 1 free space and then 2 water. So that tile would be a waste. That would be a waste. Guess that's fine. We'll do that. And we don't want to grab a free resource just yet. So yeah, 1 point on a retrieve is not great. A lot of wax storage also not great. So I'm not super happy with that move. But I don't think I set myself up for many good options. Now though, I think I'm fine with taking bee bread. I'll have 2 open spots for going on here? Should have 2 open spots for pollen or fiber, and then 2 open spots for water, so I can get the full 4 resources out of it. So then I have enough resources to use my faction ability. Yeah, so that's me treated as strength 4, which could be useful for exploring, advancing, just scoring extra points. I haven't really looked at the carved tiles if there's anything interesting here. 12 points for no seeds, 14 for no frames. I'm not sure those are things I want to commit to. Education could be, that takes a lot of planning. Research is really good. That should be really good. If I find a way to make a lot of wax. 3 per explore tile. Potentially okay. See. Yeah, like I said, this just seems like an awful tile. Carving for strength 3. Not a lot of exciting carve tiles, and then convert. Produce wax for free. Could be okay, but I don't feel like I like taking a lot of convert actions. But everyone else is grabbing a lot of farms, which all look better than the farm I grabbed. It's disappointing. Let's see if anything nice flips out. These two don't look too bad as far as like just resource storage. So I don't run into that problem I had last turn where I just have, let's see, I'm gonna stick bees in the active pool because I don't have good farms, so retrieve action is not good for me. Let's see, I can go all the way to the 5 tile since there's a 3 there. Do I want to? No. Pollen patty you want to use on strength 4 bees, which I don't really have, so that doesn't really make sense right now. I'll just get the bee bread to just stack up resources, and then 2 points is not bad either. And since that's going to grab me 4, I only have 4 spots. I don't want to put it on a resource spot. So we do have to take 2 water to fill out those 2 spots, and then we'll do 1 fiber. That gives us flexibility to buy a farm if we want. And then pollen gives us options for worker bee. Yeah. And so now we're full up resources. New dev tile is not that interesting either. I don't think Queen's Favor is all that good. Maybe decent at the end of the game. That's pretty much 4 points if you're on the low end of the favor track. More if you've really stacked a lot of favor. But I don't think early game that's going to be all that useful. Early game you're going to want resources more so than anything else. So what I'm hoping is that people take a couple more tiles and bump this 2B, turn it into a 3B, and then I like taking a strength 3 grow action. It's an efficient way to spend my resources. I know I'm going to need more than 3 workers this entire game, so I'll want to grab one, and then typically you want to have frames. That's a good way of scoring points, is getting frames, filling them out. Every filled frame is an extra 8 points, so I kind of think of it as every tile you place is, you know, in addition to what that tile does for you, is kind of like 2 points. for how it contributes to filling out a frame. But so far, between the dev tiles and the worker bees, I'm not seeing any really juicy wing conditions potential out there. So we'll just have to wait and see. Let's see. So Jake Job's turn. He's still deciding where to go. He's got no resources except one wax. Puts it in his landing area. So that tells me he's going to plan to do a retrieve at some point. And he's got decent farms, so that's not bad. +1 worker strength helps speed up the game. And wax is definitely a very good retrieve income. He does go to explore, which bumps my worker there. Which is nice. I like to have my workers bumped since I do not have good farms, so I don't want to use my landing area. I don't want to do retrieves. However, I'm not sure what I want to do with my next move. So I do want to reserve 3 resources to do a grow 3 action when I get a strength 3 bee. Which includes reserving 1 pollen, so I don't really want to grab a worker, not that I'm interested in any of these. So I think maybe I just want to grab another farm. Give me flexibility of a lot of storage space. Like if I grab this farm, that will pretty much solve my storage space issues for the rest of the game. And then I don't have to worry about running out of space. And then once I have all this storage space, grabbing this double pollen explore tile, it will probably be pretty nice. And if that flips a planet with a resource on it, that's 4 resources in 1 move, which would be good. Okay, Angela explores. Oh, she took the one. Huh. She took the resources I wanted. Just flips an empty planet though. Yeah, I think I'm gonna grab this farm tile. Or maybe this one. A pollen retrieve is slightly more interesting than a fiber retrieve. But do I really want to be doing any retrieving at all this game? Based on the farms I have so far, probably not. So yeah, let's grab this farm. Gives us a lot of storage space, which helps us stock up resources to plan around using our faction ability. Get a fiber back so we still have the flexibility to buy a farm if we want to. And work my way up this way so I can place tiles for seed cards. All right, there's our bumped 2 workers, so now we can go to grow. We have 5 resources, so we could get an extra bee, get a frame, and then we could use our faction ability. Actually didn't check what happens when you upgrade this. So if I upgrade it, then it reduces the cost of my faction ability down to 1, and when I do that, it gives me a point. That's probably worth it. I think it is. Jake Joe goes and takes the other farm I was thinking about. Not that I need it anymore. I have plenty of storage space now. This farm tile is kind of interesting. If now that would start to make it a little bit worth it to do retrieve actions, scoring 2 points. Although I'd probably want one more tile like that. Just because scoring, I think 3 or 4 points in a turn is about where it becomes worth it. Probably more like 4 or 5 to really be worthwhile. Or of course other valuable things like a wax. A wax plus 2 points would be a great retrieve action, but as my farm sit now, 1 point plus a fiber, I don't want to waste turns doing that, so I just hope my bees keep getting bumped so I can just keep using them without having to take a retrieve action, because my retrieve action is pretty bad. Getting a 4th worker will help with that, to help my bees keep cycling through and getting bumped, so I don't end up with a bunch of idle bees on the board. Yeah, so this worker will get bumped to 3, and I think I'll just go straight for that grow action. I don't think it's high priority to go for the explore. All the good explore tokens have been taken. There's still 3 single resources, and then 2 points is probably decent as well. But I wouldn't say they're high priority. Angela does take a worker bee. Yeah, and she's got diplomat, so that's a really nice engine going to be taking lots of worker bees. She took scientist. Helps her generate free wax from convert, which can be pretty nice. She also already has botanist, which is generating a lot of seed cards, so she's got a pretty nice engine going. Looks like, yeah, I've got multiple bumped strength 3 bees. I'll just dump them to the active pool. We don't want to take a retrieve action. We'll just go ahead and grow here. We'll use our faction ability to also upgrade our faction ability. Get ourselves our 4th worker bee. Place ourselves a new frame, because we will need that at some point. That'll also help us collect a lot of seed cards. And that's it. Yeah. So I think next action I'll probably explore. Just because we're out of resources. Obviously we need resources to do things. Agriculturist. That can be a pretty nice one if you have good farms. I did play in the Apiary qualifiers and did pretty well. I got to the finals in that, and I think this worker bee helped me uh, with game two that I played. I had this along with the bee that lets you do a retrieve when you do a research action. So once I had those two going, I was just hitting research every single turn, doing a single retrieve, which lets me trigger two farms, and I had two farms which scored 2 and 3 points. So I was scoring basically 5 points every turn, also drawing seed cards every turn, which turned out to be a really nice engine. But right now I don't really have the farm tiles to make that guy worth it. Right. Yeah, so I want to explore. Where do I want to explore? Right now I prioritize resources over points, so I'll probably just use my 1B. So I don't really need the strength. So explore is a good action to use weak Bs on. Reveal planet. Um, yeah, I guess we'll take another pawn. Not really interested in grabbing a farm right now. Whereas if a good worker bee shows up, that could be an option. Still pretty short on resources, so I think I might do an explore again. Potentially use my strength 3B with my faction ability, make it a strength 4B, and go to Kurbita, which at strength 4 means it will get me 4 resources and 3 points. And of course, spending 1 resource on my faction ability and getting a point means it'll really be 3 resources and 4 points. Then the question is, what do I need resources for? What's my plans after that? Maybe I go convert. I could go convert and get a bunch of wax, and then yeah, I guess that's what I'll do. Jake Job is sitting on a bunch of wax, so maybe he'll pick up some of these dev tiles and flip something better for me. I think that's my hope. And then maybe if I just focus on dev tiles, I could score a lot with research at some point. All right, CNL gets the first hibernate. see what she takes. Okay, so she flushes the dev tiles and gets a wax. So they're going to have priority over me because I don't actually have any wax yet. So I'm going to spend my next turn getting resources again. Then the turn after that I'll probably convert so that I can get some wax, and then I can start getting some dev tiles. So hopefully some good stuff flips after they get their pick of what they're going to take. And then we can start dropping dev tiles here, 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 here. Get some seed cards, see if those create any interesting opportunities. Oh, maybe she's rethinking it. No. Yeah, she's redoing her move. Hmm. So discards a seed card. Still goes for the development tile flush spot. So it looks like she discarded seed cards to get her an extra pollen so she could afford Astrochemist. Right, okay, so I can look at those later. I don't have wax. Let's just stick to our plan here. Do our 3 strength 4B. Pay 1 resource. Upgrade our bump to B, and let's see. Collecting from farms is not good for us. We want to go here. Let's get a fiber that lets us create an extra wax, and then water, just because that's got unique storage space. Also flexibility to buy a farm, maybe, if we want to. Okay, so what dev tiles flipped here? That looks pretty good. 3 points off the bat and a free conversion. I wouldn't mind that. It's potentially a lot of points, but that's super risky when you don't have any seed cards in hand, so you're just planting whatever you draw. So I would not go for that unless I know I have some big seed cards in hand that I know I want to plant. And then explore any planet at strength 4. It's okay, not super exciting. What is my opponent doing? Jake Joe goes to advance, takes a farm. He is really collecting the farms. Ooh. Geneticist is a pretty nice worker bee. That makes the research action a lot better. And with my faction ability, I can do a lot of strength 4 bees, which helps me plant a lot of cards, so I might want to target that actually. I need more pollen though. So maybe I explore again next turn. Pick up a pollen and then pick up geneticist and then start pumping research actions. Kind of like that. Looking at the dev tiles, I think this one I'm pretty interested in, but I don't think I'm going to get it. If they don't take it in the next 2 turns, then that tells me they're probably not interested in it, so it'll be around by the time I do get waxed, so yeah, I think we can wait. So next turn, I think my plan, we're going to go exploring. I'll grab the 2-point tile because I think what I'm really interested in getting resource-wise right now is just 1 pollen so I can afford the geneticist, which I'll get from the revealed planet. And then after that, that's going to bump my 3-size bee, so I have a strength 4 bee. I can strength 4 on the advance, so I know I can get to that last column. And then after that, I think we just start pumping research and seeing if we can score lots of points with planted seed cards. So let's go for that. So we'll just draw raw points and see what we get from the planet. Pretty weak planet, but we get what we want. Just a pollen. However, Jake Job can afford it as well, and a 3+2 means he has the strength to do it, so we'll see if he cuts the geneticist from us. Maybe he's got a similar idea. I really do think it's better for me though, since I can play so many bees at strength 4 with my faction ability, but I mean, it looks better than these other bees. Well, actually, agriculturalist is probably pretty good for him because he's stacking a lot of farms, and he's got pretty good farms. Well, actually, he's doing a dev tile, so yeah, spending the wax makes sense. He gets orientation, explore any planet at strength 4. And he's got nice farms, so Astera looks pretty nice. What could you get? You could get worker strength, a whole wax, 2 favor pollen. It's pretty decent. He goes to Malva. It's not bad either. More seed cards. Another frame. turn. CNL's been putting her bees in the landing area, so she's got to retrieve next turn, which is not bad. It gets her 4 points, so I mean that's a worthwhile action. She is, however, running out of tiles, so she needs to take a grow action at some point. This will be good for us. We'll get our strength 4B out of that. I'm thinking once I do place these strength 4Bs, where do I want to hibernate? I mean, the honey is the most raw value, but do I really want any carved tiles? Fermentation for 5 would be okay. I could try to plan for education by putting a frame here and then build dev, 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 dev. That's a lot of work though. Like, let's say the average dev tile I pick up has 2 points. If I pick up 4 of them, that becomes a 10-point tile. Which is pretty good for 1 honey, but like, discovery is already worth 9. Research with that many tiles would be worth 15. Seems like it'd be better to just find another way to get more honey and get one of these guys. Alright, as predicted, she did have a bumpy, so she can take an action, which she is using to take the grow action I predicted. She is running out of space there. Gets us a strength 4B. We have 2 strength 4Bs. Get us a nice chunk of points on the advance action. So that's the benefit on the advance. It's an extra 3 points. Yeah, so I'll just pick up this geneticist and then take a lot of research actions, I guess. Oh, hold up. That guy's interesting. Hmm. Maybe we go for exchange. Is that risky though? Because if I go convert to get the wax, that means I'm spending the pollen. So if someone else takes that, or that, oh no. CNL took the worker I wanted. That's unfortunate. How did she grab it? Is that her faction ability? Hmm. Okay. Biochemist is not bad, but not super exciting. So I guess maybe we do a convert. Do we want to do a dance? Do we want honey? Because we're the next up for strength 4Bs. Maybe we do want honey. I could dance for the honey, or I could just convert it straight up. Because I worry if I do a strength 4B here, it's going to get stuck there. I don't know if my opponents really want to do converge actions. Convert actions. I mean, they're both going to retrieve on next turn, so I got basically 2 free actions to myself. Yeah. Let's do a strength 2. We'll take a wax. And we'll take a honey. Right, so I want the wax because I want this exchange tile. It's 0 points, but it gets you 2 other worker bees for free, which, as I said earlier, helping you to fill out your frames. I think just any tile is inherently kind of like 2 points. So that's more like 4 points, plus depending on the work tiles you pick up, which would probably be these 2, which would be 3. So it would be like 3 tiles plus 3 face value points. That's kind of like a 9-point action, right? So I think these dev tiles that get you other free tiles are really, really good. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to claim that guy before anyone else can. Place it on our starting frame to start getting seed cards to see if we get anything interesting. I do like that guy. Recollect from 1. Explore. Okay. And I mean, that's useless because I can just turn my strength 3s into strength 4s with my faction ability. So it's got to be this guy. Yeah. And we'll collect pollen. Do we want to use? This one I know I can get a wax from, so that'll be nice. That'll be a good surprise for my opponents. I don't urgently need any of that right now, I don't think. Yeah. Let's see, Wayfinder, not that good. Doesn't really do much. Build a tile adjacent, gain pollen. I mean, that's good early on, but I feel like it's a bit late for that. Maybe not. Not super far into the game. It might still be worth it. So yeah, of the worker bees, I think that's probably worth it. Get 3 seed cards. It's pretty good. I think I want this Propolis. It's a solid chunk of points for a dev tile. 3 off the bat, and it gets me a wax back. I can claim it using this. And I don't mind dropping my strength 4Bs on advance, you know, just 3 points. I think that's solidly worth it. Jake Job is growing, so he is filling out. He's got quite a few frames now. He's got 3 frames, so makes me wonder. And he's still got plenty of room. Makes me wonder if maybe he's got a seed card that scores for extra frames. So I do really want that honey in the hibernation comb to get me to 2. So I can get one of these. But I don't think I'm too worried about someone bumping Jake Job's grow, because I don't think, yeah, CNL does not really need to grow right now. She's got plenty of space and is full up on workers, so there's not really a reason to grow right now for her. She is just exploring. I think research is going to be the carve tile I want. Because I am starting to accumulate the development tiles. What am I doing? Undo, undo. What I want is a seed card. And I want a wax. And then, let's see. That guy lets me convert, but I don't need to do that right now. I just want to get that guy, and we'll go ahead and close out our starting frame. And get a wax right back. Hold up. Can I do that? As many times as you choose to do so? Hold up. Oh, if that's the case, we're going to do some more of that. Did not know that. So we're going to get a wax. And then we're going to use this seed card as well to get 2 resources. Doesn't matter because we're just going to convert it to wax. Do, do. 1 wax. Ah, the tile's even better than I thought. Went from 0 wax to 2 wax, and we got a 3-point tile on our board. All right. Cross-pollination, not great for us because don't have good farms. Cultivars looks nice though. We may be forced to retrieve, though, if no one explores or converts next turn. But that gets our second honey, and I do believe I am going to pick up research. So it'll be 3 points per dev tile. We've already got 3, so it's currently 9. Grabbing at least one more, that'll be 12, plus 3 more for any other dev tiles we get through the game, so that should score a good chunk of points. So really hoping that CNL next turn takes either a convert or an explore action so we can get some of our bees back. Jake Joe takes the cross-pollinate, which is a good tile for him because he's got great farms. In fact, it gets him a wax back. Reactivate up to 2 adjacent. That looks pretty nice. Oh man. So if I were to put it here, although I would need a frame to do that. Oh man, I would. That looks really juicy right there. Get 4 resources and then 2 free worker bees. That is going to be amazing. Except I don't quite have the strength to... Oh, yes, I do. Faction ability makes it strength 4. Oh, except, I need another frame. I need to put a frame here. Ah. Oh, man. Man, do I greed for the royal jelly and hope it's still there? Oh, I don't know. I just need to put a frame there. So maybe I go Malva? Malva gets me the frame, but I need to go to grow anyways. Because as soon as that guy gets bumped, I'm down 2 workers. Counterpoint, I also need pollen anyways. Yeah. That royal jelly is just too good. I gotta get a frame down where I can use it. So we'll pay that. Make it strength 4. Explore Malva to get us a frame in the perfect spot to activate exchange and bee bread. Let's see if the sea guard is any good. That's not bad. And we're done. Still in the awkward spot though, where we might have to take a retrieve action. Jake Job carves, right? Because he's got the map with the discount, so he can get a -1 for that guy. Scoring points on all adjacent dev tiles. I guess there's good upside on it, but it's not scoring good for him right now. Oh, nice. I'm still alive and taking actions. And this faction ability is really working out for me because that 2 is going to get bumped to a 3, which lets me treat it as a 4 on the advance, which lets me reach the royal jelly. And then I guess maybe I do play the Palinologist. All right. Okay. Go here. Treat it as strength 4. Gets us a bonus point. Gets us enough strength to afford royal jelly. Ooh, we do get to hibernate. Gets us an extra wax. So we are going to place the royal jelly where we were planning. And we will reactivate exchange, which lets us build 2 more worker bee tiles. So first we'll do Palinologist. And place him there. It's got a lot more opportunities for adjacent placements. And then him, because he's just worth points, and that is useless for us because we can do that anyways with our faction ability. And then second activation can activate Bee Bread to get 4 resources. Nice. Get a 3rd pollen in case anything interesting shows up. And then yeah, just more pollen just in case we want to do a convert. Seeds, refresh those, and you may purchase. Ooh, that's a good one too. Do I want to do that now? Because I kind of like that cultivars. So I think we'll save that. Okay. Research gains resources. When you hibernate, collect hibernate twice, so it's a bit late for that. It'll probably only trigger 2 or 3 times. This one, I'm not really incentivized to do research actions right now. Cleansing Flight is fine. Not super exciting. Cultivars is looking more interesting, but I think Jake Job is going to grab it. think we may get lucky here and have this be bumped again because Angela is full up on resources that she needs to spend. She also has 3 honey, but doesn't have a strength 4 worker. She doesn't have dev tiles, so hopefully that means she doesn't steal the research tile from us. Because that's what we really want. And this was an amazing seed card to draw to get us more dev tiles. I don't love that. It does save an action, but like that's potentially overpaying. I mean, probably great for DNA sequencing. It's basically a free action to take DNA sequencing without overpaying for it. But you would want stuff to plant. And if you use it on DNA sequencing, I guess it combos fine with this, which gets you 2 points per plant, because that's going to make you plant a bunch of stuff. I don't know that any of these are super exciting for planting purposes, though. Ooh. Brood chamber's nice. I hope she bumps me so I can take another advanced action to go brood chamber. Because that'll save me from having to go to grow. Yes, perfect. Unless she takes the brood chamber. But she won't. She's full up on bees. She just doesn't need that. Perfect. It's working out pretty nicely for us. So she does go DNA sequencing. That's a really nice endgame for her. She's already got 5 worker bees, so that's 10 points already, plus 2 more for every other one she places, so that's really good for a seed card. Oh, handing out free resources? Sure, I'll take that. Oh, I gotta remember too, I can do free conversions with Biochemist. Okay. Strength 4, we want Brood Chamber, right? Graft is not bad either. But we need workers, and this saves us having to take a grow action, which is really nice. So we'll do that. We're good on resources right now, so maybe we just collect seed cards for now. Activate 2 farms. That's not good. Let's just get strength 2 workers. I think we just want to keep pumping good actions. And I think I want to take that graft as well, so maybe we don't cash in on the seed card just yet. Oh boy. Crop rotation is a pretty good one. Like, we are really filling out our frames here. It's pretty nice, so I don't know, maybe I didn't need that brood chamber. Maybe I did need to go for a grow action. Nah, I can just explore, get my frames that way. Collect resources at the same time. Oh, pharmacist. That's a really nice combo with agriculturalist. Oh, I've got agriculturalist. Oh, that's a really nice combo for me. If I had good farms, which I don't. Maybe I go for it anyways. No, I think I gotta carve. I should carve. Use my seed card to send the 2 to the 4 and carve before someone takes the tile I want. Okay, Jake Joe claims that comb. Okay. The issue with going carve. No, I don't think there's an issue going carve. Well, if CNL takes a retrieve action next turn, she places 2 bees and she could take majority on this hibernation comb from us. I could advance, take graft, and then, no, I don't think I can play the seed card to make it strength 4 in between turns, so maybe I wait on that? The worker you place this turn acts as if it is a strength 4 worker. Do not alter the worker. That's interesting. I don't know how the rules work here. What I want to do is place strength 2B here, take graft, and then place the other strength 2 here on carve using the seed card, but I don't know if the seed card makes it apply to both workers. I'm what do I do here? I think I do want to go here because I want to secure majority on the main hibernation comb. I don't think I want to wipe the board because I think I'm getting the research. B. Gosh. Hard decisions. Yeah, Yeah. Let's get pharmacist. And we don't have room for pollen, so I won't place it next to that guy. We'll just get another seed card. Go to the number of players and draft one, pass clockwise. All may build for free. Interesting. Let's do that. Hello. That's perfect. Now that's a good farm tile. That makes this combo much better. If I pick up that farm tile as well, 5 points per research action, plus whatever I plant. Potentially real good. I do need to take a carve action though, because I do want this research tile. Which is currently scoring 5, 15, 18, because this seed tile is going to get me at least one. This card is suddenly a lot better. All right, things are looking good. I like how things are turning out here. So I think we carve, and then, uh-oh. Okay. So yeah, I got a little concerned when he played a seed card, gave us a +2 strength, making that 2 a 4. I was worried he was going to take this carve tile for me. I really need to grab this before someone pulls some seed card shenanigans to swipe it out for me. Because those two are useless, and I have more honey. I would have unused honey if I just go for fermentation. It's worth way less points. So priority number 1, carve. That's what I gotta do. That's what I gotta do. I do need to grow. Running out of farm tiles. Obviously, I want to put a tile down here to make use of Mr. Palynologist, which turns out he combos quite nicely with my faction ability. Have plenty of resources to be able to use my faction ability all the time. Jake Jove is using a dance to turn a bunch of pollen into a bunch of wax. So you give up a point to gain a point, so that cancels out. So that dance is really just a better version of the normal conversion. So yeah, he can get a ton of wax from that, which should score nicely with this carve tile. He just needs to find those high-scoring development tiles. I'm also wondering if maybe I should wipe the board before someone takes crop rotation. I would really like that myself, but I'm not in a position to efficiently gain wax to get it. This lets me afford a 2 wax development tile, but I would have to wipe the board first, so obviously that means I can't get that. Advance. Let's see what she gets. Nothing super exciting on the worker bees or the farms. I would like to get my hands on that farm if it's convenient, as in something like this, like a dev tile or a seed card that lets me get it for free. I don't know that I want to waste a whole action on it because it's just like 1 extra point per retrieve, 2 points over the 1 point farm that I have. She does take Herbalist. Which makes her research better, so she's got pretty good research action, so maybe she joins me in spamming research, which will help me get my bees back so I don't have to retrieve. Well, actually, I don't need to retrieve anyways. That's the whole point of the farm assist. Let's see. Advance may purchase from any column. Nope. Okay. We are going to secure this carve tile while we can. Because this guy is just too many points for us. Research. Yep. And do we want to... No, I don't think I want to play the free dev tile card yet, because if it flips a card that's like place more free tiles, I don't have any open space. So I need to do a grow action first. Good, good. We did want that worker back. Man. What I would really like is if CNL on our next turn goes and explores to get this bee off of Malva. Because I would like to go and get a free frame. Ooh. Interesting. Okay. That works. So what we can do now is we can take the strength 3B, turn it strength 4, visit Malva, that gets us a frame. And I don't think we need more bees. because now we can just spam research to keep retrieving our bees. Yeah, yeah, that is correct. We're going to explore, going to use our faction. Right, we're getting a lot of pollen, so yeah, we want that to our active pool. We go here because we need another frame. I go here. This is the guy with adjacency, right? Yeah, that's the correct spot. What seed card do we draw? Oh, we could pay a resource to place a second. It's pretty good. Let's play the dev tile lottery first, see what we get. Donation, maybe? Do I need resources right now? I have 6, 7, 8. I have 8 resources. If I spend 5, I still have 3 left, which is, yeah. I've got what I need to do. So why not? Let's convert resources into points. Oh, that is nice. Take these points where we can. We'll exchange this tile with this tile. And we're running out of time, so we'll just end it here. Ooh. That's pretty nice, but short on wax. Harvest would be a good tile. Ooh, maybe I should put that tile over there, complete that frame. We can do that next turn. So I want to plant that. That's just straight up 6 points, which is worth more than planting it. Right, so this is a similar setup to what I had in my second game in the qualifier tournament, right? So I can take the research action. Pharmacist lets me retrieve and collect 1 farm, and then this one lets me collect a second farm. So every time I go to the research action, I can collect 2 farms. And now that I have these 2 farms, which score 3 points each, that's 6 points every time I take the research action, on top of what the research action gets me. So I think I'm in a pretty good position in this game. I think I might just get one more dev tile to complete that frame, which would be the harvest is what I want. Game's actually already almost over. So yeah, we don't need to grow. Yeah, a lot of lucky sequences of events that gave us our bees back right when we needed it to not take a bad retrieve action. Okay, so we're going to research. We're going to play pharmacist. Take our bee back. And we can trigger 2 farms because of our worker bees. Then we can draw 4 and plant 1. That already is looking like what I'm going to do. Useless. That could be okay. That would be a chunk of points, but this one, I may purchase one for a discount. That's a free tile, or its endgame is currently 12 points. So I think I'm just going to take that one so I can plant it. And I'm going to do this and pay a resource to place here. To spend that last wax we've got. And complete this frame. Another seed. And another tile, wherever. I think that's it. Yep. Oh boy. So I think we're looking good here. Might have to take a retrieve action next round, but that's not bad because I got good farms. It's worth 6 points. Um, Only thing we're looking a little weak on right now is the, we don't have really anything good to plant. I think all of them would be worth 4. This one's worth 4 because I only have one carved tile. That's straight up 4. I'm probably going to end up with just 2 active bees. And this one I actually want to play because playing it is 6 points. It's better than planting. So yeah, we were able to collect a lot of raw points. I think a lot of that is in part because of my faction ability. I upgraded that early and used it constantly. Um, so constantly playing Strength 4Bs kind of just gets you bonus points all over the place. Like I think I explored this planet once. I did a whole lot of advanced actions. I think that's what was generating me a lot of points. I mean, obviously these farms generate a lot of points, but I didn't get that online until just recently. So no one's got any wax. That's nice. So we can end the game now. Um, wait, no, she's not bumping. Oh, because Jake Job retrieved his B with a seed card. Um, yeah, so we have to take a retrieve action, but that's fine. We'll score 6 points. Um, yeah, seed cards don't do anything. So we'll just retrieve. And guess we'll end the game. 1 Queen's Favor doesn't do anything for us. We would need 2 to score a point. Guess we'll get a water. And all of our farms trigger for 6 points. Oh yeah, there is one more hibernation cone point. So game's not quite over yet, but will be soon. Fortunately, we don't have bees on the board to trigger our research combo. I guess nurse is a couple points. 5 points if I go advanced there. You may retrieve a different BE +1 in strength and collect farm. So I'm assuming that means if I don't retrieve a bee, I don't get to collect a farm, which then doesn't trigger this combo. It's unfortunate. It's a really nice combo. But I think we are sitting pretty solid in this game. We're up 30 points in raw points. This carved tile is going to score a bunch. We've got quite a bit of our board filled out. Jake Job maybe has a little bit more filled out, but it's mostly farms. This carved tile is not insane. It's just 7 right now. CNL's got this carved tile, which is just 18, so that's pretty good. That's probably on par with my research. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is 21. So, not a lot of super high scorings, a lot of ones and zeros on the tiles themselves. Not a lot of filled frames. End games, that one's pretty good for 5, 10, 7 times 2, 14. And then that one's per hibernation, 3, 6. So I don't think that's going to close this 30-point gap. So I think we've got this. And Jake Joe doesn't have any planted seeds, so no endgame there. And he does have a lot of tiles, but I don't think that's enough to make up a 30-point gap. So we're looking good. On top of this seed card, it's going to score 6 points by itself. So do I just research or do I play more tiles? So if I go advance, grabbing nurse will be 5 points. Right, 3 plus 2. That's a whole lot of nothing. So 5 points if I go there. Convert. I mean, I could trade seed cards, but like that's a 0-point action in itself. I could get wax for another dev tile action, but I don't think that's worth it either. I think we just go research and see what we draw. Explore. There's no teaching. That's just 6 points. That's 3 points in resources. That's a seed card. Yeah, I think research is just our best bet. Go research, research. Yeah, nothing to retrieve. That's sad. Good draft cards. Retrieve I don't really want to do. Can grab a free B. It's only 2 points if planted. This one is, what am I, yellow? 4 times 2, that's 8 points if planted. You could plant that for 8. Or I could grab an extra B. And plant something else for 4. I think just planting this one for 8 is best. And then a conversion. I don't think conversion does anything. So yeah. 8-point move. That's fine. And don't really need to do anything with those yet. And I think Jake Job is ending the game here. So everybody gets one more turn. Actually, I don't know what happens when you run out of bees. You get a free one? Oh, he's moving. Moving his bee first. Get a better reward, I guess. You can get a seed card, you can get 2 points. Either of those seem fine. I don't think he's catching up to me, but I mean, I think when you're in this position, when you're pretty far behind, 2 points is known, seed card is unknown. I think you go with the seed card because there's more upside. You need to take the high risk, high reward plays when you're playing from behind towards the end of the game. Right, because now that he's moved it, now he places his last Hibernator there, gets an extra seed card. Well, that's something I didn't account for. How many seed cards does everyone have? Jake Job's got 6, CNL's got 5. I think I've still got a pretty comfortable lead, so don't think I should be too worried. And with our last move, I think we just go research again and see what we draw, right? And advance is still just 5 points, right? Research is a minimum 4. And the 2-point Devtal just went away, so now that looks like 4 points if we take Cartographer. CNL collects from 3 farms. She's got 3 2-point farms. Pretty good scoring there. So 4 points planted. 2 points planted, question mark? I don't know what happens to this bee when I go here, because the hibernation comb is full. Yeah, so just research. See if we draw another good thing to plant. So that's what happens. So when you can't hibernate, you get Queen's Favor. Seems like a pretty weak trade-off. Let's see, any good plants? Let's see, I don't want to use that ability. It is 5 points. That is 6 points. 3 points. 5 points. So I guess it's that one, and it gets planted. Again, not getting a pharmacist value. We plant that for 6 points. Then we play this one for 6 points. And these don't do anything, so we skip. And that's it. All right, 50 raw points. I think we filled 2 frames plus our home frame. So that's 24. That gets us to 74 plus a bunch of endgame. So I think we're going to break 100 here, at least. So that's what happens. Empty hive rule means you get a free strength 1 worker. See if he has any interesting seed cards. Six to choose from. So I feel like a lot of seed cards not quite created equal. This one doesn't seem very good. Seems like it would be good if you got it really early in the game, but it usually takes a little bit to get seed cards. Because usually you get them from empty frames as a common way to get them. You don't want to be taking the research action early. And dev cards that get you seeds, I don't know if they're super interesting early because they're unknowns. But what he is doing, activate 2 farms. Yeah, that's not bad. Actually, it doesn't have, this one's not bad. 2 points in a favor. Then you could get more favor, that's a couple points. Unfortunately, favor is only worth half a point, really, unless you really stack 15 plus, which you really need to focus on to try to get that, I feel like. So yeah, what won us this game? I think we didn't really have a big focus, not a lot of good direction early, but I think what I did well here was really just leveraging my faction ability. A lot of strength 4 worker actions. Really just scored a lot of points for me here. A lot of bonus points on advance. A lot of 4 strength planet actions was quite useful. And if the game keeps going, like, I just get more bees and fire off this pharmacist agriculturalist combo with the 6-point farm retrieves. Um, like, that is just printing points. Fortunately, I got that online a bit late, so it didn't trigger a whole lot of times for me, but I still had a good enough lead. Oh yeah, and I've got the big comb for a good chunk of points there. Yeah, Jake gets a couple more favor from seeds. He gets to swap a plant, but he doesn't have any planted, so I guess that doesn't do anything. Discard a tile for 3 points. I mean, that's not going to be worth it if it incompletes. Take 3 tokens from planets, so I'll just get more resources. Doesn't do anything. Da, 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 And then cleaning up the last bumped worker. I think that's it. Yeah, 28 for 3 planted seeds, pretty good. 3 points for farms, 7 for workers, 21 on my carve tile. Good. $24 for frames. Jake Job with 32 for frames. CNL's, oh, their faction has an endgame, I guess. There we go, 150, 114, 93. So lots of raw points, lots of planted seed points. Yeah. Cool. All right. Yeah, really good value out of the one carve tile I did get, right? You don't want to overcommit to carve tiles. Just get the ones that are going to score well for you. Pretty much ignore Queen's Favor, like that's not a good, efficient way of scoring. And yeah, just decent filling out of the frames. And yeah, I like to focus on the center hibernation comb just because the rewards are the most valuable, right? Honey, right? If you go by the conversion chart, that's worth 3 resources. Wax is worth 2, right? Better than picking up single resources on the other spots. So yeah, Apiary. Looking forward to playing in the finals. Right. Thanks for watching.